All right, I'm here with Randy from Toad Hill Maple Farm. You're in New York, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We're in the Lake George region.
And you were just telling me about a product you're making. How far are you shipping it?
We're shipping bourbon barrel aged syrup all the way to Portland, Oregon.
So the distillery in Portland ships it from Portland to you.
Barrels.
The barrels. And then you make the product and ship it back.
Exactly.
And do they have any issues with it?
None.
They probably would like more if they
They
did.
keep sending me more barrels.
So it's working.
It's working.
It's a good product.
Yes.
Would you do more?
I would.
All right, we need to talk. All right, we want to see if one of these tanks will hold maple syrup. I'm going to give the camera to Benny. Hold on, buddy.
Is that battery? You guys let them in there?
Yeah, let's go. All right, take this around slowly. You don't want to make anybody sick.
Okay.
And I want to see all the weld seams. I'll show you all. Slowly move the camera.
Echo.
That's too fast. All right, that's fine.
This is fun. I can almost stay in here.
All right, buddy, good job.
Echo.
So they flew
3-inch.
how much? Tear this thing
That's
down.
a 3-inch valve right there.
okay.
He said it was a beautiful.
Big one.
He said bluebird sky, sun shining.
Oh, Ralph. Look at this, Pete. Look at this thing. You could haul some sap with this baby. Almost 5,000 gallons. 4,080. You know what, Chuck? We need one of these. This is almost a tanker.
Almost.
So this is vacuum filter. So you'll dump, obviously syrup goes in here. Filter underneath. You'll put this on, lock it down, hook your vacuum to this inlet.
Like literally like a vacuum cleaner, right?
Like
Or
a vacuum, yep, like a shop vac.
Oh, that's how
Shot back to it. Mix your syrup in here with a little bit of DE when it's warm. Sucks it through. Fill your bottle.
What's an investment in something like this? This would be good for like a lab setting.
This one here is about $700, somewhere
Gotcha.
around there for that size. It comes with the temperature, comes with a valve for out here, and comes with the draw-off valve as well.
This is so much faster than the old gravity style.
Yes, way faster than the conventional gravity. And they're different sizes for different size producers.
So they're the same style, just bigger.
Just bigger. Yep.
Gotcha.
Just bigger. And a hand pump. We have a hand pump one here for a small producer. 5-inch. 5.5.
No kidding.
Yeah, with a hand pump.
What's the investment in something like this?
So this is about $900.
That's a good lab size.
$900, $920, somewhere in there. Next is one with just an electric pump on it. This is 7-inch electric, and so on. Kind of get bigger as we go down through. Obviously, this is that 3,000. After then probably 12,000 in there. Below that, those over there would be what we use. So, yeah. So this is an Evapo grill. So it's you can cook your hamburgers in it on the hot season.
It's genius.
Cook your syrup on it. During the syrup
I started my business on one of these.
on a 2x6. What's your 2x6 for curvy? 2 foot wide, 6 foot long. Okay. So is what it is. Yep. So that's a surface area of the page. It's 2x6. This one only has a single float box, so it's only allowing concentrate into the back pan or just raw sap. And this one has 2 float boxes, so the concentrate will come in from the back, work its way through, raise through instead of dropping things. See the difference? The raised loose, and it'd be able to work its way in. So you run, say, 2 inches in the back pan. This would be set to control the back pan. You want to run 1.5 inches in the front pan. This is set at 1.5 inches, and it always keeps your front leg at 1.5 inches. So no more of that variance from the float box.
This is probably the most common, evaporators, a 2x6.
Yeah. So they're well priced. They work work really good for
And they're
hobbyist.
all of them pretty much do 35 gallons an hour.
somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
There's lots of variables with wood. Just if it's a good cut, split, dry wood.
A lot of people will get wet wood and say, why isn't my evaporator doing 35 gallons an hour?
It's because you have wet wood.
The soggy wood. Can't be my soggy wood.
Here's our steam rig. So our steam rig's a little different than some of the others. See, well, if you look down here, this is surface area.
Oh, wow.
See how much surface area is down here? Yeah, lots more surface area. Yeah, you look at displacement.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're dual.
It's like a steam away. As far as like all these tubes.
So I was just at Ben Shepherd's, who has one of these at 4x8 just like this.
Okay.
I was really never a fan of syrup off of a steam evaporator because it just didn't taste like maple syrup.
Caramelization has got something to be.
Is a huge factor. So the caramelization that happens in one of these rigs compared to some other steam rigs that I've tasted syrup off of is way different. Just because of the
surface area.
Yeah, the surface
That's
area.
different. I had never seen that.
Yeah, just
so multiple tubes.
Creating more caramelization.
Now, is there layers of those tubes? How about that?
And that's what creates the caramelization. That's what allows us to run at low pressure and still be
I got you.
efficient.
So 15 psi.
I'm not gonna.
No, I mean like low pressure is 15
Yeah.
and lower.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but specifically, each one of those rigs are set depending on the boiler. And
I got you.
We're primarily using steam generators.
Okay. And those,
They're more efficient.
they're electric, right?
Well, it could be natural gas.
Okay.
It could be electric. Yeah.
I just pulled out a low pressure steam boiler
Okay.
because I needed high pressure to boil. And it would work with this. I can't give that thing away. It's a 1.5 million BTU. It's going in the scrapyard. Sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody.
That's kind of those and.
Because BTUs is BTUs. Even if you're 1.5 million, 15 PSI, you could use this.
Go behind the curtain. We'll call it.
Behind the scenes.
Good. Look at that. Tracks.
Nice. This is just basic.
If you got to do a service call.
Yeah, if you got to do storage call, you're putting up monitors, things like that. They use it for basic service and pump waiting to be serviced and all kinds of miscellaneous stuff like that. Test area over here for if we're working on turbines, working on pumps, anything like that. Just a good test area for those type of things.
You guys probably clean membranes here?
In the other building.
Okay.
I could show you where that's at. Where we can clean membranes at. This is mainly for if they're rebuilding a turbine, something like that, so they break down a turbine. Generally, to take those apart and resack them.
Huh. I've never even seen one of these.
Yeah. So those are the high pressure pumps that are on our machines.
No kidding. I've never even seen the inside of these. Huh. Look at that. That looks complex.
It is.
I'm stepping away.
The good news is every one of our store locations, so all of our corporate stores have
Know how to do it.
And not necessarily know how to do it, but we have ones in stock, so used. So if a CDL customer, their RO goes down, we have a 5-horse, a 7.5, and a 10-horse right in our stores, and we'll switch them out. So
These are the high pressure pumps.
that's the high pressure pump right there. So we have those in stock in our stores, used ones. And we'll say a customer calls and there's a defective one, something they've had it on.
That never happens to anybody.
No, 7 years it's been on their machine, and it starts the motor bearings going out of the top, because what usually goes bad is the mechanical seal in the top of the motor.
Gotcha.
So it's taking out the bearings in the top of the motor.
Somebody explained ROs to me like this. Well, it's like putting a Lamborghini in a garage for 9 months and then getting it out and running pedal the metal right away.
Yeah.
And that's hard on everything.
Mm-hmm.
If they ran every day, they'd probably run better.
That's why I store mine a little differently. And
Glycol?
Run it every month. No,
You don't even use glycol, huh?
don't use glycol. Haven't had glycol in mine for about 10 years. Same membranes in the machine for 8 years.
No kidding.
Yeah, just about the way you store it, and I run it every month
Just to keep it running.
just to keep it running.
That probably
I have
helps.
the ability to, I can fix Basically anything, Nate.
I know that's why. I noticed you took us back to the service area where there's all the tools. This is your area.
My area.
You like this
Yep,
stuff.
I like this stuff. So this is, but we do have them at every store, so we can switch them out for a customer and get them back up and going during season quick.
That's key.
That's-
Service.
That's when you need it.
That's-
instantly.
Right. So the biggest thing about any company is wanting to be able to keep your product running for the customer. So having those at each store and being able to keep people going is important. So what this does, we'll kind of go to an RO a little later, and I'll show you what the purpose of that specific pump is.
These wrenches are green.
Yeah, so probably so they don't lose them.
Or if someone takes one, you can go find your green.
Yes, you can find your
That's smart. I need to paint. I hope they never paint
the
wrenches.
Green Mountains, right? So
That's true. I like it.
So we say the seal goes out of the motor or a bearing, something like that, and it's something CDL produced.
Every
Every
spare
seal,
parts.
every bearing,
Nice.
all the O-rings.
Now, when you and I were kind of growing up in the maple industry, I remember D&G was always considered the largest, right? Probably up until like, would you say 2000? 2000,
Somewhere around there.
and then CDL kind of shot past it. It seems like last decade to 2 decades.
Yeah, I believe that they're moving forward, and a lot of that's to do with technology.
Sure.
And when we go next door, we'll talk about some cool technology stuff and how that works. Being,
But CDL is the largest maple syrup equipment company in the world.
I believe that's safe to say.
Yeah.
The largest
I think it's pretty common knowledge.
in the world for sure. And that starts with this, right?
Yeah.
Investing the money to make sure that you have everything from cleanup to coupler to everything in stock to fix the products that we sell.
Now you have a branch close to our
Yeah, yeah.
He's right in Kinsman.
Right. Yep,
Kinsman.
Right, Kinsman.
Oh, okay.
So just right down the road.
And do you have all the spare parts there too?
I have a parts area, probably about
His,
half.
yeah, you got a good bit.
I have a ton of parts. So
That means everything because when you go down, you want it up and running as soon as you can.
for everything that I need to fix during season, I have the parts. So if it's a 101 vacuum pump, I can pull it apart and fix it right in season.
Yeah.
So all those from an 021 to a 101, I have all the rebuild kits in stock.
Good.
So when it's about, depending on the pump and how bad it is,
Yeah.
45 minutes, 2 hours to get a producer back up. Yeah, so
Did you get a piece of plastic there, buddy?
I was in the
I got it in this bag. Got some new spin seal gray.
What is it?
That's the type of plastic for spin sealing.
Pencil.
It's a special way to connect.
They just started making it that color. My wife's really gonna like it though, because we used to have this gray tubing in our woods, and she liked it.
You can't see it.
You can't see it. Yeah. So, yeah, she's gonna really love it, and I guarantee I'm gonna be ripping my wood down, putting it in.
Yeah,
When I seen it, I said, "Uh-oh, this is gonna cost me money."
that's true. That would hold a lot of syrup, that guy right there.
That would. And I could put an expert quote in for you.
I would like
The
to know.
extra- Yeah.
I am curious on the Nectar. Do you have that here?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Probably the second most efficient evaporator on the market. The first being electric, second a master per gallon produced per gallon of diesel.
We're going to see a lot of these here shortly.
Hi. Nate, this is Kevin. He's,
Hi, Kevin. Nate,
he's
nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
operations manager for the U.S. now.
Okay.
Kevin, what's up, buddy? Nice. Like that. Hey, hi, Kevin. Kevin,
This is Holly.
Hi, Holly. I'm Nate.
You, Ollie.
I'm making a YouTube video.
I watch you on YouTube.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we can come on back here.
Sure.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Is this the Nectar here?
It is.
Do you know about this stuff?
Do you know a lot about it? Or?
I know nothing about it, but I'm curious.
This gentleman, because they're
Oh.
using Nectar
We use it in our.
to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It actually has color.
Come back, America will do a better job of
Sure.
She's around here somewhere. They're looking for her.
The whole industry's talking about this.
I
so
don't know enough about it.
I've heard
I'm-
some, but
I'm
I'm
Nate.
This guy.
Charlie Smith,
Nice to meet you, Charlie. Where are you out of, Charlie?
Burlington.
Okay, right close by here, and then you have a product.
Yeah. This is the sap beverages used. Start with the concentrate.
This is the Nectar.
This is the nectar.
Okay.
And for our purpose, for one product, we dilute it down to 6.5 bricks.
Gotcha.
The other product, we dilute it down to 3.5 bricks. So, to the
Sure.
target sweetness levels that we're looking for. And what we found is, compared to everything else, we've never used syrup for this purpose. So that's not any comparison.
You've always used sap, right?
Yeah, we've always used sap. But we've used, in our first years, we actually took milk trucks full of sap,
Gotcha.
percent or whatever, and RO'd it on the spot, and then carbonated and put it into the cans.
Sure.
Then we went to, because we didn't want to produce only one time a year, we went to drums of concentrated sap at 18%. But we had
How'd you keep that?
to freeze
I
it,
got you.
and that's a whole cost issue, and it's also then you have to.
So this actually takes logistics.
Oh yeah, this by comparison is a drink. It's
Yeah.
because there's so much less handling, and the product we get is much more consistent.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it works really well for us.
That's
So
awesome.
we've been talking with CDL for over 3 years and doing experimenting and so forth.
And this is 64 bricks, right?
66, I believe.
It's 66.
4.3.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your company. So how do you say your name?
Marika.
Is
It's like America, but
No A.
at the beginning.
All right. So you're going to explain. This is the Nectar.
Yes.
Okay.
We call it like maple nectar, but it's really like an internal term.
I got you.
The real name is like the high bricks maple concentrate.
Okay.
So it's really sap that.
Nectar's faster to say.
Yeah, but it's an internal term.
So what you're saying is actually the technical term for this
The
is
high bricks.
high bricks maple concentrate.
Yes.
You know where I think this is going to sell well? Every school teacher in America will become sugar makers. In Arizona, California, you can actually put this on a stove and finish it off and make maple syrup, right?
Possibly.
And you know what they're going to all say? This is easy. Well, I don't understand why everybody says maple syrup so hard to make. This is easy. So if you caramelized it, it would actually
Become maple syrup.
become maple syrup.
But the goal is not really to do that. The goal is really to use it as an ingredient for different purposes that maple syrup cannot respond to those markets.
I got you.
So like beverages and distillery and
I got you.
cosmetics. So we will take raw sap at about 2 bricks. Then we will ultra filtrate it to remove like all yeast, mold, the bacteria. So then we will work with a product that is really clean at the beginning. We will use the reverse RO to concentrate to about 30 bricks. And then we will use the electric evaporator to do the last evaporation
Gotcha.
for up to 66 bricks.
Gotcha.
The thing that is different is that we are evaporating at a lower temperature. So usually for maple syrup, we're about 220.
So it's being evaporated under vacuum,
Yeah, under vacuum, so
Yeah.
it's about more 190, 195.
which will make less caramelization.
Exactly.
Okay. Can I try this?
Yeah.
All right, I want
let's
to try
it.
this.
Try this.
All right, we're going to try some High Bricks Maple Concentrate, aka Nectar. Cheers.
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 Cheers, buddy.
It's like a delicate maple syrup kind. It has a lot more butterscotch, or like a. It actually has a lot more flavor than I thought it would have. Yeah,
I taste rum barrel in that.
yeah. Keep going. It's helping. Yeah, I'm not throwing it away.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
It was much different than I thought too.
Right.
When I tasted it. It's like, wow.
I had this picture in my mind that it would be clear, like flavorless sugar.
Oh.
There's a little bit of flavor. Yeah.
Maybe there's a lot of it.
Should I try some of this?
Yep.
What is this?
Well, this is the lower bricks. That is to say, the 3.5 bricks. This is the red can is the 6.5 bricks.
Okay.
A little bit sweeter.
So this is probably for like mixed drinks behind the bar.
It's
Mixers.
It's a beverage. It's a great mixer.
All right. Well, can I try this?
Absolutely.
Should I try it?
Sure.
This is going to be. We're doing it in the wrong order. Listen, that's the story of my life. That's the story of my life.
One's overflowing.
Yeah, that's refreshing. That's refreshing. Where can people find this product?
Online, sapvermont.com or drinksap.com.
Gotcha.
Buy it online. In Vermont, it's typically in the natural food stores and the co-ops.
Gotcha.
In terms of bigger grocery stores, it's natural foods and co-ops in most of our New England and Mid-Atlantic markets, but for larger stores, it's Whole Foods in New England and
Okay.
Atlantic.
So you're in all the Whole Foods in New England, or a lot of them?
A lot of them. I think we're in all of them in the Mid-Atlantic, and then many of them in New England.
Yeah. You know, I've had a lot of like maple-based drinks. They're not all good. This one's good.
Try this one.
Which one's this one?
Good? This is the sweeter one.
I'm in.
This one here, I can picture some of this with maybe some nice bourbon in it. And I know you like nice bourbon, Nate. So yeah.
I actually like bourbon that is high flavor, low cost. I like good deals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
So you could mix this with a bourbon easy.
Yeah.
It's a great mixer with
So you would have less sugar consumption in your diet. Yeah, I can see this. The red one. Yeah, the red leaf. That would go well with a little bourbon for sure.
It's that flavor.
That's it.
The other one tastes like bubbly. Bubbly.
Good stuff. You have my attention, Jared.
Well, let's
All
let
right.
Christine get you.
All right, this is very cool.
Because she does a much better job of
Okay.
explaining it to me. She's from Canada. And,
Okay.
And can talk a little
Sure.
bit about the whole process and the history of it versus me just telling you about the can.
So you get someone to create the syrup, and with bonds,
So this guy. Very cool.
putting it in place, and you turn the machine on, and you hit this button back here, and then seal the can. We're done.
So each one does something different.
Yeah.
One does the top.
And then that one pushes it down.
Okay. Can I see that again?
Absolutely. And we can do it manually so that you can kind of see the whole process
Okay.
at a slower pace.
So
I was in a bad spot there.
bottom of the can?
Pardon? Yeah.
Bottom.
We're doing the bottom of the can, and then when you flip it, the hot maple syrup
Seal.
seals the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genius.
Makes complete sense.
So we're filling the maple syrup to about that line,
Okay.
because by putting the can over it, we're actually going to be lifting and pushing it down. You see the difference? It's that lip is going to be rolled and pushed down a little bit, so it takes the air out. So we're going to be putting it in, locking it in place, and then if you see well the groove, this one has like it's grooved differently than the one over here.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. This one's grooved. Yeah, it is. So
One
that,
of them's going to push it up.
I got you. So this one here is going to push that up, and this one's going to roll it over. All right, let's take a look at that.
Do it manually, then you can see that one.
Absolutely, this is awesome.
Oops, machine on. So now we're going to push this button.
That was quick.
Yes, that's why the manual.
I got you.
Exactly. So if you look at how much time that took, you can do quite a few.
Yeah.
What does that can hold?
It's a little over a pint.
It is.
Yeah. Because 8 of them is a Canadian gallon.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like to do the manual one? See?
Sure.
And you can look at it at a more slower pace.
Yeah, heck yeah. Maybe if I come around to the side here.
Yep, because you'll see the heads here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's plenty of there's gift bags out back.
So cool.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
This is the coolest thing I've seen.
I used to do it growing up, so it was very fun.
So this is a common.
It is. I have very fond memories. You'd bring it in here. And on this one, being that the fair today, people have been moving it around, and this one needs to be the starter
Gotcha.
because it needs to lift up and then lift down. I need to make sure that it's going to do that.
Oh,
I need
no
to make sure
problem.
this one's going to be the one that's going to be moving first. So see, it's over here. I need to release it.
So it's timed.
So this one is backwards.
I see
need
it.
to go. So this one will move first.
There it is.
So now I can move forward.
I got
This
you.
one will trigger first. So we're locking it in place. And then we're cranking.
Lifting up.
See how that shrinked right down?
Yeah.
Right down. So it's a little hard to crank.
And the other side will finish it off.
You'll see,
They probably each have a name, don't they?
see it release. I'm seeing it's hard right now, harder. And then it's gonna release. And now you'll see this one come in. I think they said 20 revolution, 20, the can spins 20 times.
Very cool. Now, was the label painted on there?
I am not sure.
Very cool.
And now that it's released here, we can unlock it. It opens up.
Very cool.
You have to try that.
Has it got any heat from the movement? It's not even hot. It's not even hot.
Syrup in it.
Oh, I mean like the friction.
From the friction, no.
No, there's no heat at all.
Who said I could?
That's very cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Who said I could try it?
That's up to her.
Right, something different.
It's not a race, by the way.
I know it's not right.
It's you want to get the job done right.
So here you go. You'll see how it feels.
So I crank it
I think you want to go the other way.
Towards the back.
the other way.
Which way?
The back.
Sorry, buddy. I told you wrong.
So you're going to feel that it's hard.
Yep. Chuck, we got an order of 1 million of these. No problem.
Next Monday?
Yeah.
It gets harder and then it lets go.
It does get harder.
This is 55 cents a can or 60 cents a
65 cents.
65 cents a can.
So another thought for yourself would be you're shorter, so you're way up here, so you would probably have the table
Here we
adjust.
go.
Yeah, it just went to the other part of the seal.
You got it, dude. You got it, bud. That's it.
There it is.
All right, now you got to release it.
You've actually gone and cranked further. So when it got easy, that's when we need to stop because now that's starting over again.
Yep.
And so we need to back up. So we need to go backwards a little bit. Yeah, towards you. Yeah. So we got to release that side.
Until it gets hard.
No,
That's
there
good.
You go. It's done.
Good job.
Released here. So now you can take the can off, and I'll show you what it did. Yeah. So step over here, and I'll show you what it was doing when you continue to crank. Watch this head here. See how it's going closer? So it was going to start over again. So it's going to pinch your can right in place.
So when you do that a second time, it makes it really hard to take off.
No, you can do it. I've actually been redoing.
Oh, okay.
So you could have gone over, but you would have needed to do the full cycle.
I got you.
This one go and release, and do this one and release for it to start with that one. Because there's a few cans behind there that are,
Sharp.
yes,
I see him.
that's when this one started first.
I got you.
Let's say you've gone this way.
I
That
got
one's
you.
done its thing. If you have this one start, because this one pushes down,
I got you.
so that's doing it backwards, so it's not doing the seal properly.
All right, that's how you learned it, huh?
Yeah. Yes, because people were moving this around, and we're like, how come that didn't work? And we couldn't finish it. And then we noticed that it was this one that was starting.
An electric fence, like Zapper, would prevent people from touching that.
Yes. Yes, yes.
They make them solar now too. It'd be really green.
Yep.
Look at the opening. So it's just a can opener.
Yep, yes, you can. Big hole and then just a small hole so that it just pours with
Sure.
the air. You can open it completely and put it in another container. You can also, there's another canning way where you could turn it, this part of it, and then put the cover back on. I heard that you can put the cover back on like that.
No
You
kidding.
have rubber, like a Rubbermaid cover that you can put on. Some say that there's one with a flip top that you can spout, like a spout to pour out and then cover it up again.
Do you make 1 gallon cans?
Not at this time.
But do you see them in Canada? Are there bigger cans?
Canada,
This is it. That's
You get a
the
4-pack.
mate.
Normally it's a
you get
4-pack, right?
8-pack, which is in a Canadian gallon.
Okay.
So it's a box, 8 cans, and it has a handle.
Got you.
They're talking about if this becomes a need, we can make 4-packs, we can make 6-packs, boxes.
I got you.
This machine can do larger cans. So see this one? So we can do a next size.
I got you. So it'd be like a quart maybe, or
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we can release these pins, which open these up. So
I
there's
see
different
it.
sizes.
Yeah.
Yep. But if you're looking to do larger, you would need to get a new thing here. The top
Got you.
part that sinks in to pinch the cover in.
This is genius. This is technology. It's been around a while.
It has. It's coming full circle.
Yeah.
Back again. There's
Yeah.
my 14 this, and here we
And
are.
it's not uncommon to have this in the pantry at home.
In Canada, they're everywhere.
Okay.
In your basement,
Gotcha.
in a box, and then we've got this in the refrigerator. And yep.
Now, what kind of shelf life do you get when it's canned this way?
I don't know exactly, but we've never had any question on how old is that can. Of course, we probably ate all the maple syrup.
It doesn't last long anyway, right?
But it's in the dark, it's airtight, so if you keep it that way, how much does it stay in plastic? I mean, it's going to be longer.
It's going to continue to lose grade where it's not losing grade in that because it's not breathing.
Yeah.
I had a customer that was in Canada here, and he said 40 years. He's had 40-year-old syrup.
Yep. Yeah,
And
he's
it
tried
said
40-year-old syrup.
40-year-old
and
syrup.
tasted
There's
I got a mason jar from 1963 with syrup in it.
yeah, still looks good.
I want to drink it and see what happens.
Try it.
Because quite frankly, if I vomit, people will watch it. I think they would. So this is the Nova Dries. And they're cast iron?
The ink plates are cast iron on both.
I got you. So that'll help with dissipating heat.
Yep, help dissipate heat.
And this is one that you're running currently.
This is the one that I'm running currently.
And you're happy.
Ran it all year this year. I'm very happy with it and the performance that I got.
And rough ballpark figure on something like this.
Around with the VFD around $8,000.
Okay. And it's 72 CFM?
Yeah, right around 70%.
Gotcha.
And my wet dry line's about 4,400 feet from where the pump is to my last wet.
And that's not a big motor, really.
No, it's about 7.2 amps startup and about 3.8 amps running.
Oh, that's nothing.
So I have a three-phase, this three-phase 100, and then I have a three-phase releaser as well. So my building that I have these in pulls about 6.2 amps.
You can run that on number 12 wire.
Yeah. So my building's about 500 feet away from where the power comes in, and yeah, very low amps and very efficient this year.
Gotcha.
About a quarter of the cost of my previous single phase pump that I had.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
This is science class. So what are you blowing up?
Or not, we're freezing. We'll just do this one. We're freezing water. Yeah.
Oh, cool. You're what? Freezing water. All right, I got to see this.
Technically, it boils first.
Okay.
Boils first.
Let's see it. Let me get my face down here right by the exploding canister. All right. Good way. This is what would happen if you ever got out of your spacesuit in space.
Yep.
You would bleed out your eyes.
Is there no oxygen in there?
Yeah.
Do you know why Spock's blood is green?
I have no idea.
Come on, man.
I don't.
You got a science background, you have to.
I got no idea.
You have a science background?
I do. No idea, though.
Because Spock breathes nitrogen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he breathes. This is going to freeze, you're saying?
Yeah, it'll freeze.
Huh.
Because once you get to the lower pressures, you can only be in two phases for water. You're either going to be in gas or you're going to be solid. So vapor or solid. And so that's how people freeze dry things. They typically they'll freeze it first, they'll throw it in, pull the pressure down and add heat because it can only turn into vapor.
I got you. I just saw it freeze.
It's starting to freeze, yeah. And you
Yeah.
can see it on the edges, the droplets.
I missed it. I saw it freeze in my eyeballs, but I didn't see it with my camera. This is a smart little experiment you got going on here.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. It's just fun. You just gotta have some fun,
Looks like marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Is that what those are?
Yeah.
You
Yep.
smushed them and then you blow them back up with vacuum.
No, you blow them up and then they get smushed.
Oh, I got you.
Because it takes the air out and it destroys the pores, so then they just shrivel.
I got you.
What happened if I ate one of those?
I wouldn't eat it just because we've been like spilling stuff all over in there and then putting them in. You can grab one. They're harder.
Hard?
They're a little bit harder, yeah, because they don't really have.
Yeah?
Balloons are cool because the balloons
Science.
get hot. You put these under and they'll get warm. So it's
When you expand them?
Yep, and then you contract it. Yeah, it'll get hot.
So what'd you do with this?
That we expand that, but I'm trying not to pop that. So I'm a little worried about that one.
That is loud.
It'll stick as ice for a little bit. Here,
How about that?
grab that.
Look at that, buddy.
Here.
It's frozen.
Listen, we could make slushies this way.
Well, yeah.
It's a very cost-effective way of making slushies.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell my daughters we can do that at home.
Look at the patterns it made.
I see there's some patterns in there. That's kind of cool. It's probably from vibration.
That's cool.
Very cool.
If we did it for longer, the whole thing would freeze. But it's
Yeah. Let's anybody got a cat? Anybody got a cat?
not a good idea.
Any small animals? Anybody got a squirrel?
Yeah.
Let's go to the pet store. Let's go find something.
Wait, there's no helium is there, isn't it?
No, it's there. No into it. But there's no air in here. So because there's no pressure in here, all the gas is trying to escape. So it's just stretching it out as much as it can.
It's gonna pop.
If we deflate it faster, we'll trying not to.
Wasn't that in James Bond? Remember that? They put the bad guy in a chamber and let the air out quick.
I don't remember.
It was.
But they're gonna be, it'll be warm to the touch.
Huh.
Whereas you get the ice to freeze, it's warm in
It
it.
is warm.
It is warm. Huh.
That's
Pretty cool.
And then the shaving cream's a good one too.
That's smart.
You can do that one, Blake? Huh? Doing the shaving cream? Yeah, one.
You putting a can in there?
Nah, we don't want to make that big of a mess. How much do you think the shaving cream's gonna? What do you think the shaving cream's gonna do?
I have no idea.
Take your guess. What's your guess? How much is gonna fill up?
Oh, it's probably gonna like inflate and then it's gonna pop.
But how high do you think? Good guess.
Maybe an old
Yeah. Son of a manic depressive right there. He knows. Go to the extreme, right, Chuck?
You nailed it.
So it's basically just space in there.
You're making outer space. Yeah.
Pretty close to space.
Oh!
I'm stopping it just so we don't hit the.
Have to clean.
Let her rip.
If you do that with whipped cream, you solve world hunger.
You'd certainly make a lot of it quick. Yeah, it would blow up pretty fast. But it doesn't even expand that much. All right. Well, we hit the ceiling here, so.
Yep. And then when
That's crazy.
What do you think it's gonna look like when I deflate it?
It's just gonna like I think it's gonna look like marshmallows.
I think it's gonna be the same. What do you think? Huh. So it's not really a marshmallow.
It's all over.
I think it's like that. You're everything.
Wow.
Basically none at all.
Huh. There's less of it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it becomes basically just like a liquid at that point.
Barbarosol.
Yep. Look at that.
It's cool. Yep. Good stuff. Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, trying to make it fun, you know.
That's a good move. Thanks. I'm Nate.
Alex.
Nice to meet you, Alex.
Ben? Good to meet you, Ben. Alex. So, small producer, you had coming into bringing it into the track and get a little stuff like this. Permeate and concentrate. So the store the permeate here, the concentrate over here. This thing does about 49 gallons an hour or something like that. Has recirculation, so it's just a great small producer pump. RO. So really make kind of that RO bucket, and then we have the nano RO that is comparable to the RO bucket. The thing with the RO bucket doesn't have any recirculation.
Right.
So first pass about 2 to 4, second pass 4 to 8, and that's about what you'd get out of something like this. Yeah, it's a really neat. And have you seen the ROs in Nate's place? You still have your ROs, Nate?
I sold them. Gone.
Gone. Okay. All right. So I saw them before, but I never see them. I can talk more a little bit about the concept. I know you were talking a little bit about there. I can tell you a little more over there about the concept. So this is the hobby evaporator that we can put wheels on for that hobbyist to go in and out. It's called a Hobby Pro.
Cool.
So complete stainless steel.
Shiny.
Yep, so the arch is stainless steel. It's bricked. Just a real nice little guy.
How long the logs are you supposed to be putting in there then?
Well, the firebox, I don't know how big it is. Oh, does it go the whole way? Oh, yeah, okay. Sweet.
Get it? Yeah, 16 to 20 inch. I think.
Do you have to put bricks in this?
I think about 60 inches. Yeah.
You got to brick it up?
It's like 55 bricks.
I got you.
Bricking.
BRICKS.
Yeah. Not, no. Basic releaser. With for stack comes in here. Obviously got the vacuum pump and where it's going to work on continuity. So just like that, only this one here is actually working. So
Little sensors on the side?
Yep, continuity probes.
Gotcha. One there, one there.
So this is a manual CDL RO. It's been automated.
Oh, really?
So what used to be manual.
So it's retrofitted.
It's retrofitted to be an automated RO.
Cool.
It's about, without an inline bricks meter, the cost of it's about $8,000–$8,500 to...
So we will do our final presentation of the weekend, which is about the Maple Nectar project explained. So I will give it to Martin.
I'm curious.
So
How long is this?
presentation of the weekend.
10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to talk briefly about the Nectar project. So what is Nectar? So basically, it's a new maple ingredients. Now the federation up in Quebec, they manage 3 products. They manage the sap. This nectar. Nectar is basically sap concentrated. That's what that is. So there's no, it's not altered in any ways like with heat. So that's the main difference between nectar. Nectar is a natural source of energy, like more minerals like calcium, magnesium, a lot of stuff you get into nectar that you don't get into maple syrup because you don't have that like heat process changing the nature of maple of sap. So it's a better source of minerals and additional source of electrolytes. So for people cycling, it would be something really good, for and very healthy for them. So basically, in the process, it's the process. You have you get the sap. We 2 brick sap. And then in the process, it's what we call ultrafiltration. So ultrafiltration, we don't have a unit here, but it's pretty much taking the sap, you put it through, and it's going to remove the bacteria and the yeast that you may get from from the tubing or any contamination. So you'll remove that, and then it's going to go through the reverse osmosis. So in the next step, you see evaporation, vacuum evaporation. So what you need to make nectar, you need one of those, Master E. So so it's running under vacuum. So basically, before it goes in, we want the concentrate to be like between 30 and 40 bricks. So most of the work is already done before it goes in. And yeah, it's under vacuum, evaporation. So let's say if you compare with maple syrup is going to boil around 219, which is like 7 degrees above water temperature. So if you compare with the Master E, it's going to come out at between 180 to 190, so much lower temperature. So that's the main difference. So then you will, from the evaporation, you'll get the maple nectar. So the market that we've been dealing with so far, people are looking for a sweetener. They're not looking for maple syrup, so mostly for the beverage industry. So they're looking for 60, what we've seen so far, between 60 and 70 bricks. And then the final process is filtration. It varies. Some customer want filtered, some people don't. So it's really up to the customer to decide what they want. So we can make both. So this shows, there's raw sap. This is late season sap. You can tell it's a little bit white. So then if it goes through the UF, it's going to clarify. Like I said, remove. It's a fine filter if you want. And then you need the RO to go high bricks. You'll get the concentrate, 30 bricks. And after the evaporation, you get the nectar. So if you want to compare maple syrup with nectar, usually the color is very light because it's not exposed to any sorts of heat. So naturally this is maple syrup, and if you compare with maple nectar, very light. It's I don't think we've ever made any syrup lower than on the light transmittance, lower than 80. So it's very, very light. So who's interested? It's mostly in the beverage and distilleries. Like I said, it's a sweetening agent. They're not looking for the maple flavor. Beverage companies, wineries, distilleries, cosmetic. And so right now in 2024, last year I think all we did was like 40 gallon drums. And this year, for comparison, we did 1,000 drums. So that the market is slowly growing, but there's interest out there. So we were actually in a show in Japan a couple months ago, and what people are looking is really a sweetener with minimum color, so they can use in the beverage, so it doesn't change the color of the product. So that's what they're looking for. And obviously maple, it's a maple product, so people like it because it's a natural sweetener coming from from a tree, and people like that. Can be organic, so a lot of potential for the beverage business. So one of our first customers is here today, which is SAP right there. So yeah, if you can come, and I'll let you talk a little bit.
So Chaz couldn't make it today, so he sent his dad, Charlie.
That's right.
So thank you for being here. So my first question is, can you introduce us to your company?
Yeah, thank you, Marika. SAP Beverages, it's a Vermont company. We started, I didn't actually go back and look, but I think we started about 8 years ago. Our office is in Burlington. We distribute out of Williston. We do most of our production, the canning and so forth, we do all of it with co-packers and primarily in Virgins with Shaftesbury hard cider. But we've done this co-packing work with a number of different companies that have that right kind of equipment. But we've kind of settled in at Shaftesbury for the time being. Basically, we've got 2 maple products. The one in my pocket is what we call it the maple seltzer. It's about 3.5 bricks. The one in my hand, the red can, we call maple soda. It's 6.5. So 6.5 and 3.5. So for kind of caloric equivalent, the seltzer's about 40 calories. The The soda's about 80 approximately. So anyway, I think the seltzer is the bigger seller overall. The soda is a great replacement for somebody who's looking for something sweet that doesn't have, 35 grams of sugar, of cane syrup or whatever in it. It's as you all know, maple is the healthy sugar, and so we regard it as the healthy soda. And we're delighted to be here.
Thank you. My second question will be, how did you first hear about maple nectar?
I want to say it was about 3 years ago when Nikita, the cousin on the left, who's one of our business partners, the guy on the right is my son, who's the one who's supposed to be giving the presentation here, but he was here yesterday. Nikita is in the business, his family's in the syrup business, and he kind of heard on the grapevine that something was cooking, so to speak, at CDL on this, and my son Chaz got in conversation with Martin, and we've been doing some experimenting, and we've tested and done some different things over the 3-year period, and we're in love with this as a solution to how to do our business with a lot less effort and a lot less risk. When we started, the very first year or two of production, we were actually working from raw sap, which would come into, at the time, Woodchuck Hard Cider was our co-packing location. It would come in there in milk trucks, and of course there's a ton of risk that goes along with shipping sap for a couple hours in a milk truck. But anyway, it worked out fine. But there was a lot of handling on the site to do the filtration and the reverse osmosis and the canning, and then you could only really do it one time a year. So we had to figure out how much we needed to produce for the whole year, and it was just kind of hard to do. We shifted and then started using a high concentrate sap that had been RO'd to about 18% and 18 bricks, and that made it more reasonable to produce in the middle of the year, which we couldn't do with raw sap just because there was no way to keep it safe. But we did have to freeze the high concentrate, so there's a lot of expense and handling and so forth that goes along with the freezing it and then the thawing of it. So with this solution, it's really great. It's shelf stable. It's very consistent. We get a very consistent result with our product. It preserves a lot of some mineral content that would be lost otherwise if that you lose at the high boiling point. And it's a great solution for us. So we heard about it on the grapevine, and over a couple of years have tested and kind of fallen in love with the approach.
And my last question would be just to give people an idea, like what were your initial volume, like at year 1 versus now?
Wow, I don't really have the numbers right in my head, but suffice to say we're growing, and we expect this to be a real staple of our production and a real factor in our growth. So as we've tested it, we've in each year, but a little more and a little more. But we're pretty well hooked. So we like what you got.
Want to add something, Martin?
No, I guess this is going to be the conclusion of the 2024 Open House. So thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. So I want to thank every customers that are behind CDL, all the employees, the crew, everybody involved. Very important to us, and hope to see you again, all of you again next year. Thank you.
And this is a conventional RO that was automated. So we can open valves and do anything like that. It's about $8,500 to just make it automated. And if we want to put an inline bricks reader in there, it puts it up to about $13,500, $13,000, somewhere in there to do that. So you can do it all with our monitoring app that we just looked at.
No kidding.
So it's 16. This is PLC, right? This is mesh. This is all mesh. Just all off the monitor. So
Very cool.
all with SC200s, the whole system. So like Nate, you have some SC200s. So this is all run off of those SE2.
Those are what I use to turn pumps on and off.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that's what you're. And then Corey could talk to you a little bit about this because I'm not near as well versed as he's telling us. These two, because I just don't.
Sure.
They're out of my realm.
Corey, I'm Nate.
How you doing?
We've talked on the phone, I think.
Oh yeah. So this is our fully automated RO. So big difference between this and what you just saw. You didn't really have to touch this, so you could do it with your phone or whatever, but you could actually have it set up so the sap gets to say 80%. It'll kick on, start concentrating. And you can unsugar, long rinse. You can make a custom wash.
So this is an automatic reverse osmosis. So it'll run itself.
Cool. It's a computer, basically, right?
That's a PLC system?
No.
No. PLCs, but it's more of a computer system.
I got you.
So it has a NUC, just like our monitoring system. That takes care of like the IP address and all that. It's all automatic, so.
So I noticed like there's dosing. Is that for like a wash?
Yep.
The dosing?
You got a soap pump.
Okay.
So it'll automatically inject soap, acid.
Okay.
And based on a pH meter.
No kidding.
So.
Well, that's slick.
It'll give it an initial dose.
Oh, we even got conductivity here. That's what I'm talking about. That's cool. How many companies have automatic reverse osmosis? Just 2?
2 or 3.
Okay. I think the fella up in New Brunswick has one. Zach Hargrove. I think he has an automatic one.
So what's the difference primarily between this one, we'll say, and the competitions? What sets us aside for it?
Ours is more of a computer base instead of PLCs. There is PLCs in there, but if you lose power, everything's going to keep its settings. You don't have to reset anything.
I got you.
Any upgrades, all done from the computer.
Does that computer have to be on site, or can you do it from?
You can do it remotely.
You can do it right from your office.
100 miles away or whatever.
So if you really wanted to, you could play some tricks and password protect things on some farmers if they
right.
Just a little April Fools.
Corey, could you run a customer's machine remotely to help them get through it?
We do it all the time, especially with new producers. So
no kidding.
Start them up, but if they have issues, we can say, "Are we good? We can start it now." Click them a button.
This is an 8-post, or it looks more like
this is an 8-post. We got 3 double posts and 2.
I'm so out of the league on this. I like something like this. Like, what would be an investment? Budgetary.
20 to 25,000 on top of the normal price.
Okay, so adding that on top of a normal price. Huh.
I kind of say if you're gonna get a brand new RO, you might as well go with the automated versus a manual. But if you already have a manual RO and you're satisfied with it, but you want to automate it, that would be the route.
Gotcha. Chuck and I were talking about Tesla. This is like the Tesla of ROs.
Right.
I want a Tesla just so I don't have to drive. Like, I want it to drive me.
Then you wouldn't have to leave your house. You can program it and change settings anytime you want.
But for the extra cost, depending on your size, you probably pay for itself in a year. So
I don't mean this in the wrong way, but you can actually get dumber people into Maple.
Right. I had
Even I can run this thing with Corey.
This little guy started.
Benny, yeah.
I'll start it up.
Very cool. Oh, you got it here to run?
All you have to do is hit the play button and hit OK. Yep. There she goes. You start concentrating.
Huh. How about that? I see a valve opening. This is why the price of syrup keeps going down. Right here. It's your fault. You're making it too cheap to make syrup. It's Corey's fault. You're just too good. You can't not be good, Corey.
You can sit on the couch and watch Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sap's concentrating.
Heck yeah. These valves are one thing. They're accurate, but they're not fast, are they?
No, they're 90-second valve. Which isn't a bad thing, especially if you have pressure in there. So.
You did not buy them from Vivor, I noticed. Belima. Got a valve opening here.
Yep, that's your sap inlet. One would be permeate, one would be sap. You can add multiple. You have multiple sap tanks, multiple permeate tanks.
I hear it. This one's running too.
Filter housing, so it's going to run off that left filter housing first. Once it plugs up, automatically switch to the one on the right.
Based on pressure.
Yep.
Little pressure sensor?
That's relief.
Oh, okay. Where is the pressure sensor?
We have a bunch of them. We got one here.
Okay, so that'll tell it it's pushed a little hard.
We got here is concentrate.
Okay.
So the line blew apart. The line was froze. Shut off EP, so safety.
I got you.
Turbine pressure.
Gotcha. No automation direct there. I don't see any automation direct parts. Getting them probably direct from factory.
Yep. So this is Voltec. It's owned by CDL. So all the components. That was kind of their goal. If they want to automate stuff, they can go Voltec and say, "You're doing this. You're not."
I got you.
This is our priority.
Gotcha. They probably love it when you do that too.
Right.
Oh, you have a production schedule? Oh, not anymore.
This is new. This is our second season with producers having these. Last year we had about, I think it was 8 or 9 out in the field, all in Canada. This year we had, I think it was 38 to the number. One in the U.S. I got to play them in northern New York. There is one in Maine, I believe. That's out of our Canada facility. So this will bring, you could have 10% going in, 15% bricks, 20, 30 bricks. And it's steam generated, so with a compressor, there's your steam generator. That starts up for about 45 minutes on startup. Gets to over 200 degrees. Once it hits temperature, your compressor kicks on, and that just keeps compressing the steam and regenerating it. So
no kidding.
There's no steam stack.
That's a compressor like I've seen in the oil industry.
So, and the one we had in New York when I was over there, it was doing about 355 gallons an hour of evaporation.
Gotcha.
There were 17 bricks at the time, but at 30...
Out of something this size?
Yep. This is a 100-horse motor. We have 2 versions right now, 75 and 100 horse.
So it compresses the steam.
Yep.
I've never... This is interesting.
Holds about...
Dude, I love the mood lighting you got going here. Does that come standard, the mood lighting?
An option.
This is for the still.
Holds about 20 gallons of liquid at a time.
Gotcha. I got to see this compressor. Ariel owns the market, and they're right in Ohio.
Okay.
I've seen these before. They use these in natural gas. I swear to you.
I don't know enough about it.
They're compressors for like oil and gas industry. I mean, it's a serious piece of equipment. Compressor, 100 horsepower. Run that sucker with a couple Harbor Freight solar panels, I think. The syrup will be in that guy right there. Okay.
Yeah, but comes off very light. Not a lot of it. It's like steam.
You come overwhelmed real quick.
We want flavor
sure.
in the kettle. Definitely. The longer it's in there in the pages.
Oh yeah. Is the kettle steam jacketed or hot water?
It's hot watered.
Gotcha. Can it handle steam?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
All right.
Heating and cooling on those.
Cool. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jared, thank you, man. This is awesome.
Good meeting you again. You don't remember me, but I seen you when you were little.
It's true.
I've seen you when you were little. Smaller. not quite this big.
I'm 23 now.
It's what? Oh, you really age fast. You're aging good. I hope. Well, you know, I'm only. I'm 30.
Run around with you, does he?
This one, yeah.
I'm 30. So I'm 30.